Alright, let's see. What's going on, guys? My name is Glenn Twist, and welcome back to my channel. This is another high school story. Something that I wrote in high school, back in my creative writing class. Um, I'm looking through this application, I guess you could say, that I use to that I put all my high school stories onto. And it looks like not everything is there, so I'm gonna try to figure that out. Because there's a lot more that I've recorded, and I'm I think there's only like three more that I can tell on this channel, which is insane. There's got to be more than that, but anyways, so this is another free write. It doesn't really have a name, but I'm sure I'll come up with one and put it on the YouTube on the video itself. But even I don't know what this one is about. I'm reading through it. I think I know. Yeah, I think I remember writing this one, and I know it is a horror, another horror one. But I don't know. We'll see. Oh, there might be four actually. Now that I think about it, that we can tell on here. But the fourth one is really really long, so we'll see. Anyways, this was back in October 17th of 2023. So let's go into it. It's not quite as long as the other one. This is only 2 pages long, or as the one from Monday. But anyways, frantically a young man shuffles along the sidewalk. Stars paint the crystal clear sky. A full moon lights all the dark corners of the quiet neighborhood. The atmosphere is thick and moist. The young man is heading home from a late night college course. As he walks, the yellow tint from the streetlights pave his way. All of a sudden, he stops dead in his tracks. Maybe 100 feet in front of him stands the silhouette of a thinly drawn man. The sight of the unnaturally made man causes the boy's heart to beat even faster than it had previously. Keeping his eyes on the strange man, the boy crosses the street and walks on the sidewalk going the opposite direction. Down the road, he sees the man standing with the exact same posture. The man's posture is deathly still. He has his arms down at his side and his ankles pressed together. His back hung with a slight arch. Though he could not see the man's face, the boy could feel the man's eyes just glaring back at him. This time, the boy did not move. He was stricken by fear. All he could do was stare back at what he thought was the jaws of death. The man began creeping towards Duke. Because the man had been so still for so long, it took the boy... It looked to the boy like a statue started moving. This formed the feeling in the pit of the boy's stomach that he had never felt before. Flight mode. And an almighty jolt, the boy took off in the direction of his house. He looked back to see the gangly man running with him. He was waving all four of his limbs around like a rag doll. Against all odds, the boy made it home. He slammed the door shut and locked it. He put his hands on his knees in an attempt to catch his breath. After a moment, the boy walked over to his window and peered out onto the street. The man was watching from across the street, standing just under the dim street light, in the stick-like position he had prior. More of his features were revealed. He had a small vanilla button-up under a zipped-up brown overjacket. He wore wrinkled black slacks. All things considered, he was dressed normally for an alleged demon. His face was partially visible as well. His eyes uncomfortably beady, his mouth thinly stretched across his face, a bit higher than the average person. And he didn't appear to have a nose. It was the nose that caught the boy off guard the most. The boy thought maybe he could escape out the back if he hurried, since the man was in the front. So he quickly tiptoed out the back door and out into the yard. Little did the boy know the thin man was in the backyard, lurking in the shadows. When the boy realized, it was too late. One momentary touch on the elbow from the man, and the boy was out like a light. When he woke up, he was in a dark room. He could not move. His heels were glued to each other, his arms glued at his side. Panic, hunger began to slither in. But it was only the beginning of this torment. The boy was destined to stand in this same position and breathe the same air for years without food or water. He began to get deathly thin. He simply couldn't die. Nearly a decade later, the boy was blinded by the street lights. He was outside. He still couldn't move. Across the street, he could see a pedestrian who seemed to be heading home after a long day. The boy could no longer fight the urge to feast. Nothing would stop him, not even the statue-like position he was fixed to. So, yeah. The man, the thin man, the monster that lurks in the shadows. Yeah, as you can clearly tell, the boy turned into the man at the end there. There's a thing that I noticed reading this particular story is that I get really specific. Like, I don't need. So, like, you might have noticed I was stumbling over certain words because I gave the character a name. I think the boy would have been better. I gave the character a name. I don't know why. And the college course, I don't know. I think it got a little too specific, but that's just my criticisms of today. So I don't know. Maybe it was good. I don't know. Hey, look, I was in high school. It was not the greatest. Whatever. Anyways, it was interesting. I forgot I wrote that one, but I knew I wrote it when I started reading it too. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm rambling. If you guys enjoyed it, please press like, and if you didn't, I don't give a crap. If you want to subscribe, do that because that would be great. And yeah, see you in the next episode, or see you in the next video. Bye bye.